What's going on, everybody? Emmett Ferguson here, and I just want to talk about the HRM-Pro. This is the HRM, it's the chest strap heart rate monitor. That's why I don't have my shirt on. Just wanted to show you how you put it on and how easy it is to take off. As you can see, I took it off real quickly. So this is the Garmin heart rate monitor that you attach to your chest. I just finished a 2-mile run and a third of a mile walk, and I absolutely love this thing because it made me realize how not fit I am compared to what I thought I was. Now, there's something that I've taken for granted that it made me realize this idea that as an ectomorph, now there's 3 body types. Ectomorphs are typically, skinnier, have lower body weight, maybe skinnier bones or whatever. Mesomorphs are typically pack on muscle pretty easily, very muscular people who naturally tend to be muscular. And then the I think it's endomorphs who typically tend to be bigger, heavier set people. So just wanted to quickly talk about the Garmin. And the reason why I brought that up is because as an ectomorph, someone who tends to be on the skinnier side, you focus a lot on weight training, and you could tend to, or at least me personally, I don't speak for every ectomorph, but I have often neglected this idea of cardio because I've, for the most part, been skinny. I've mostly focused on putting on weight, putting on muscle and strength training, and neglected cardio fitness. I'm in my 30s now, so cardio fitness because I've always been skinny. And just thinking about what fitness actually means, having that cardiovascular health, being able to have a good pace of your heart rate as you're running, and being able to do things without running out of breath or having to catch your breath really tough. And this Garmin, the HR Pro, this is the Pro, for like 30 extra dollars from like the mid-tier Garmin. I wanted to get this because it helps you track other things such as your stride length and all of that. But when it comes to, and there's different Garmins, but ultimately this has been so helpful because of this idea that after tracking my heart rate, I realized that I wasn't as fit as I thought I was. Just being skinny and just having a little bit of muscle doesn't mean that you are fit, that you're cardiovascularly healthy, that your heart works as efficiently as possible. So to see my heart rate go up to like 175, and that's fairly high. Always talk with a physician before you do any sort of training or take any words from someone who's just randomly posting a video online. But when I realized that my heart rate was going up to like 175 from doing like 11-minute pace on a mile, and I didn't even run the full mile. I ran this was when I first started using this, I ran like a third of a mile at an 11-minute pace, and getting to 175 beats per minute, that you can realize like just how unfit you are. Now, some people, they might be further off on the scale, right? They might be walking down the street and their heart rate starts getting up to like 160, 170, 180. But ultimately, compared to what I believed I was, this Garmin HRM-Pro helped me to get real data, real information that I could work with so that I could find ways to improve. So if I realize that I'm running a mile in 11 minutes and my heart rate's like going through the roof at 175 beats per minute, and with that I realized that I can push just a little bit more, get a heart rate up to around that, and then I can aim to run more, and I could track myself, like if I get up to 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 8 minutes, and I'm able to get my heart rate below that threshold of 175 or 170, then I know that my body is improving, that my fitness is improving, and that if I ever want to, I can do exercises that push me into those higher heart rate ranges, and that's when I know I'm like pushing myself. So again, this might be going beyond the information about Garmin itself. I mean, easy to put on, helps to track your heart rate. This one tracks stride length as well as a few other things. This one records data so you can go running and save it to your phone, so it all like connects with your phone. It's super easy. There's like electrodes on the backside. I don't know if you could see this, but there are these electrode things. They call them electrodes, but the little shinier part that helps check your heart rate. So super easy to put on. And with that, for me, the greatest benefit of this was getting greater insight into what my fitness really is compared to what I thought it was. Because prior to this, I thought that, hey, maybe my heart rate only goes up to like, 150, the 150, 160s range on that slow pace. But to realize that I'm hitting some higher numbers on such a slow pace of a mile, and again, a slow pace for me, depending on where you're at in your fitness, depending on, how long you've been running, or, how much you spend time not walking or in fitness, that can affect this all as well. But for me personally, I felt that was too high of a number, 175, compared to what I had of expectations of myself. And to get the real hard data, to get the real factual data and information is so valuable. I mean, if you're like obsessed with video games or something, there's something called gamification where you apply video game like activities into your life to improve. So something like, tracking your heart rate and, improving your times on running. When you're able to track that data, if you want to run 12 miles and you said to go 11 minute mile and 10-minute mile, 9-minute mile, 8-minute mile, 7-minute mile, and you start setting that data and you start setting those goals, that's like gamification, especially if you can add badges, because this has an app that you easily connect to on your phone, and the app lets you get little badges for winning and, setting your own goals, beating your own goals, setting your own records and things like that. So very great. If you're into gamification and you need that type of motivation. I'm in my 30s now, and I've never used one of these prior to this. So, just to have this experience is very interesting. So with that, regardless of where you are in your fitness experience, whether you're incredibly a fit person, you've heard about one of these before, it could be helpful. It could be helpful for you to have the actual data, the actual information about how your body performs in situations. And when you have those pieces of information, the tracking, your heart rate going up to 175 and resting at 80 or 70 or 60, then where and how you can improve. Of course, there's research that you might want to do, like understanding how the heart rate affects the body, and speaking with a physician and getting a certified trainer that can help you reach your fitness goals. But to get this data can be very valuable for some people. And here's the other thing. That was just earlier, the 175, I was thinking like just from running, but you can also wear this while you're resting, and it gives you your resting heart rate. And I did some research. So resting heart rate for like a top athlete, like above average, not only above average, but above average person, above average, top athlete has a resting heart rate of like 40. An average heart rate for people is somewhere between 60 to 100. And here I am sitting there thinking, hey, well, maybe I'm a fit person, I exercise, I go to the gym, but I don't do as much running and cardiovascular activity. So I'm thinking, oh, wow, my resting heart rate's probably pretty decent. Lo and behold, I find out that it's actually below average. My resting heart rate was about 85 to 90 when, I always thought that it'd probably be about 80. So, or not 80, but like, below 70 or 60. And I'm not a top athlete or anything. I didn't think I was going to have like a heart rate of 40. But when you think about where you want to be, where you set your goals, there's somewhere between being completely average in terms of, your overall fitness. And I use the term average loosely, depending on where you are in your fitness goals and everything. But, setting your standards high and, to realize that my overall fitness was below average was just a kick in the butt for me to say, hey, I need to step up my fitness game. I need to start doing more cardiovascular activity. And, at some point, I'd like to get my heart rate to resting heart rate at like a top performance level, maybe, below the 70s, below 60s, maybe even below 50 someday. But obviously, those really low numbers are for top athletes or people who are above average in their fitness. And, to realize that I have, somewhere that I can reach, quantitatively, those are some goals that you could set for yourself. So, whether you have like a weight goal and you want to go beyond that, right? Like if you have a weight goal is one thing, but how do you get to that weight goal? The weight goal comes from being able to track the minutes that you're running or the distance that you're running. And how do you improve on those times? You measure things like your heart rate, your pacing, the amount of distance that you run at a time, how many steps you're doing each day. I mean, these are all things that if you're into fitness or you want to be into fitness or you want to make physical changes and improvements for yourself, you can do. It can benefit you simply by making sure that you actively are able to track these things, make it a game, the game of life, play the game of life, play the game of fitness. And, with that, this is a video about the Garmin HRM-Pro. And it's the highlighter yellow one. So far, it fit me very well. This is the medium to double XL, and my chest size is I wear a 38S suit. So, this fit around, as you could tell. And there was still a lot of, maybe like probably about 4 to 6 inches left of how much tighter it could have gone. So if that's helpful to you, I know I could have said that earlier, but what other questions might people be asking about this? Does it fit? Yes. It connects to a phone. I don't know which phones. I have a Samsung, so this is connected to a Samsung. There's an app that you have to download to install onto your phone in order for this to be able to connect, because obviously, there's no screen or anything. So you have to get the information somewhere. And it connected to my phone via Bluetooth. And via Bluetooth, everything worked pretty smoothly. There's no charging on this. I'm pretty sure there's a physical battery in here that you have to change up. So there's a physical battery that at some point when you need to change it, you just change it. There's instructions about washing it in the booklet. If you are very heavily active and you're doing tons of running, swimming, biking and hours, and you're a top athlete and it's getting really dirty, then there's instructions for that. But I've rinsed it with no problem, just to rinse some sweat off. Super easy to put on. It stays on, and you can get it pretty tight, and it stays on there, connects to your phone. And I'm looking forward to investing in a Garmin watch here, which will be here. And with that, I'm looking forward to that. And there's so much. The reason why I picked Garmin personally is, I personally like to have trusted brands, brands that have been around for a while, brands that I know that are going to give me the accuracy that I'm looking for. And when they have a trusted brand, they've got a lot on the line. So they have typically a good customer service platform. But I haven't had to use their customer service. I just got this a little while ago. So with that, thank you for watching this. Be sure to check out the Garmin HRM-Pro or any of the other Garmin chest straps. I think they have like 3 or 5 versions, maybe even more. They have like a basic version, I think, that only tracks your heart rate, and this one tracks like your stride length and all those things. And I wanted to get data on that, so I thought I'd invest in it. Personally, I'm into fitness, but I've never been into fitness like this before. I go to a gym, but I've never really gone into deep about tracking everything. And tons of privacy settings. There's groups on the app that you could connect with locally. I mean, obviously, if you're a very private person, you might want change your privacy settings there, but it's pretty intuitive, pretty simple. You put it on, download the app. The app automatically connects to this, and it's pretty smooth sailing from there. Very intuitive. and it can be addicting. You know, if you turn life into a game, if you turn fitness into a game, and you're able to track like how you're improving your strength, your constitution, your heart rate, well, if you're improving your heart rate, you're basically improving the ability of your body to deliver oxygen to all the different body parts. So if you're able to do all of that, you know, you've got a great thing that can help you turn life into a game, turn fitness into a game, and have fun with it. So with that, that's this video about the Garmin HRM-Pro. Be sure to check it out, and happy fitness. Thank you for watching.